So when you think of Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, or heck, even just Five Nights at Freddy's in general, or in some cases, animatronics in general, you probably think of 4 characters. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. But which one of those characters seems to stand out the least? You wouldn't think it would be this bright yellow chicken, right? This bright yellow chicken with a sentient cupcake and a big bib that says "Let's Eat" on it. That wouldn't be the one that's the least popular, right? Right? Yeah, ever since the first game, within the fandom, Chica has always kind of just been the least popular. A lot of people just tend to see her as just the girl, which I mean, yeah, that's what her name means, but I always thought it was strange how such an oddball character gets overlooked so often. She always seems like the odd one out despite always being right next to a character who was literally designed to be the odd one out. And being one of the original 4 animatronics in the series, I think she deserves a lot more recognition than she gets. Because personally in FNAF 1, I think Chica is the most interesting character, and I'm gonna explain why. In FNAF 1, every animatronic has a sort of personality of sorts. They all act differently and serve different roles within the gameplay. Freddy's the main leader of the band, so of course he's gonna be the best at his job, so he's the best at sneaking around the pizzeria. Bonnie's the weirdo who just kinda stands around awkwardly giving you the same look all the time. Foxy's the retired, introverted one, who only likes to come out when either nobody's looking at him or he's angry. And what is Chica in this? A big yellow bird who really likes food and is also a little crazy. I've always found her mannerisms in FNAF 1 really unsettling. Whether it's the way her neck just kinda twists and turns randomly, or the way she stares at you in the dining area or through your office window, or how she's really pissed off looking sometimes. She shows a lot more personality compared to a character like Bonnie, for example, who, honestly, I think the reason why Bonnie is so effective is the fact that he's just so dead looking. But Chica is kind of the opposite. She looks a bit too alive. And I think that's great because her contrasting with Bonnie is perfect because they both serve very similar roles within the gameplay, so I think giving them very different mannerisms is a really good thing. And speaking of contrast, I think it's about time we move on to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So FNAF 2 introduces 2 new Chica variants as opposed to 1, those 2 being Toy Chica and Withered Chica. This is what I was referring to when I said speaking of contrast. All the toy animatronics are seemingly trying to be the exact opposite of the original animatronics, with Toy Freddy being big and goofy instead of proper and formal, with Bonnie being instead of, and Foxy looking like this. So for Chica, instead of a fat, weirdly proportioned chicken, Scott opted to make her much more skinny and feminine, I guess? Which, I mean, I get the thought process, but I never really liked Toy Chica that much, to be honest. With the beak. Because without the beak, I love that. That's awesome. It's both the most unique aspect of her and the coolest one. But yeah, Toy Chica is definitely a very big departure from the original Chica. Which is a very good thing, because the original Chica is also in this game, so you probably wouldn't want to have them be too similar if there's 2 Chicas in the game. Also, can we just have a big shout out to characters with this head design philosophy? I think it's really awesome. And then we got Withered Chica, who is basically take FNAF 1 Chica, remove all the personality, and then just turn all the scary aspects up by about 11, and this is what you get. And yeah, she is one of the scariest characters in the entire franchise for me. I don't know how other people feel about her, but oh my gosh. But FNAF 2 has a pretty significant amount of Chica content. Nothing that really captures the same energy she had in FNAF 1, but it's all pretty good. You know, we get good Chica content in this game, so nice. I sure hope FNAF 3 will follow up on it. What is there to say about Phantom Chica exactly? I can make the watermelon joke. That's a joke I can make. It's like the Scrap Trap peanut joke. It's really funny. Okay, but it is funnier than the Scrap Trap peanut joke. FNAF 4. So FNAF 3 was basically just a bunch of, you know, filler with Springtrap in there, which I mean is good because we love Springtrap, but like the Phantoms, they're kind of lame. But FNAF 4 brings back the big major roster with the biggest roster out of any FNAF game, surprisingly. Like, FNAF 4 has a lot of animatronics, and a lot of people really look over that. But we actually get 2 Chicas instead of 1 this game. They'd never done that before, by the way. And oh my goodness, one of these things overshadows the other. And I honestly feel the same way about Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Foxy. I think a big reason that the Nightmare animatronics just kind of blend together, especially Bonnie and Chica, specifically just because they kind of function exactly the same and serve the exact same purpose and don't really have much to stand out from each other than the floating cupcake. I think another thing nightmares have is that they're just kind of cartoonishly scary rather than uncannily scary. That and the fact that they're not really that important to the story of their own game, really. At least individually. Besides, like, Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare, obviously. So anyway, Nightmare Chica. She's just really not that interesting. I mean, it's cool that she has 2 rows of teeth. Or 2 extra rows of teeth, I mean. She got 3 of them. That's cool. She's also got an eye that's not the same color as the other. I don't know why, but it's cool. But eventually, when FNAF 4 got updated for Halloween, it would introduce another version of Nightmare Chica, which has completely overshadowed the original pretty much, and is honestly one of my favorite interpretations of the character, and it is Jacko Chica. Now, in terms of FNAF 4, all Jacko Chica really has to offer is just kind of like, it's Nightmare Chica, but with a really sick design for the head. Like, this jack-o'-lantern design works better with the Nightmare Chica model than the original Nightmare Chica model, and I think that's really impressive, really. And she's also got Mr. Pumpkin instead of Mr. Cupcake, so that's pretty awesome. I love Mr. Pumpkin. He's a common reoccurring character that everybody ignores. But at this point in the franchise, Jacko Chica was just kind of like the cooler Daniel, didn't have much to go off of at this point. So let's move on to the next game. So now we move on to Sister Location, and this is the start of a point in the series where Chica was just kind of completely absent for some reason, and it didn't really feel like anybody missed her at the time, which is really sad, to be honest. Like, you got your Freddy, you got your Bonnie, you got your Foxy, and then you just got your baby and your Ballora. Who are those? This felt like Scott Coffin walked up to Chica, stomped on her, threw her in a dumpster, then shipped her off on a boat that was directed directly to crash into an iceberg. The disrespect! Was this a result of her not being as popular? Was this a result of her merch not selling as well? Was it because you couldn't find a place to put a Chica in this game? Blasphemy! You have room for people like Yendo. Okay, don't get me wrong, I love you, Yendo, but Biddy Bab? Who likes Biddy Bab? Got room for Mini Rena? What are these names? Got room for Mini Rena 2? Which is the same character with a different gameplay mechanic? It feels like this game was just doing everything in its power to make sure that Chica was not in it. And for what? My suffering? Mr. Coffin? And this impacted the books too, because we got a book called Five Nights at Freddy's, The Twisted Ones, with new sets of characters that are called the Twisted Animatronics. We got Twisted Freddy, Twisted Bonnie, Twisted Foxy, Twisted Wolf? Twisted Wolf didn't even need to exist. Like, who is he? Who is this? They never even elaborate on what he is. He just kind of is there. And despite not being in the book, Twisted Chica got a design, and it looks like this.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier, and I'm here to tell you that Twisted Chica.
It's stupid. This character design is bad. Why did they even make it? It just makes the situation worse, because it's not even in the book. It only existed for Funko Pop. But in this, there was one little glimmer of hope. A book called the Survival Logbook. And in this book, we got a teaser for FNAF 6, which we didn't have many, so it was good to have something. So let's look at this teaser real quick. Look at that. A scrap Chica. I wonder how this will be incorporated. It wasn't actually in the game. So now we're on to the release of FNAF 6, where obviously Scrap Chica was not one of the scrap animatronics, which it really makes you wonder, was she ever even gonna be there? Why does the art of Scrap Chica exist in the first place? It's really, really confusing. But I mean, she's not in the normal night mode in the game, but there's a day mode in the game, so maybe she's in there. Oh look, 2 Chica. Scott. Funtime Chica has gotta be one of the worst character designs I've ever seen in this series. It's not even that, like, the design is bad. Like, the color palette could work. Like, the overall concept of the design could work. But, oh my gosh, Scott, you modeled this. How did, what? It's bad. There's just so many, like, unnecessary random plates everywhere. It's hard to explain, but all the ones on the normal Funtimes are very, like, streamlined and well thought out. This one just kind of feels like he put plates wherever he felt like it. And it ends up making the design very, very messy in the end. And what even is the context of her existence? Did Henry make her? Did Afton make her? Was she just not in the sister location? Was she being rented out at that time? During the full week, was she rented out? Like, where was she? Why is she just here in the tycoon mode? But there's still another Chica, and it is Rockstar Chica. And honestly, I think Rockstar Chica is a bit overhated. I mean, she's definitely on the lower tiers when it comes to Chica variants, but I mean, she's not awful. She kind of reminds me of those, like, Un-Nightmare fan designs. She looks like an Un-Nightmare Chica kind of thing. She's got kind of the same head shape and proportions going on to Nightmare Chica, which I don't think is inherently a bad thing. Like, she's a little ugly, yeah, but I don't know. I think it works, kind of. I like the fact that she has maracas. That's really funny. It makes no sense, and it's goofy. I like it. Rockstar Chica's pretty silly. All the Rockstar animatronics are just kind of really silly versions of the characters, the original versions of the characters. But, like, I don't know. Rockstar Chica still just manages to be the least interesting. This would carry over to Ultimate Custom Night too, which is the next game in the series. So Ultimate Custom Night is a big collection of it's basically just like an all-star lineup of FNAF characters and Nightmare Mangle. And this game's got Classic Chica, Toy Chica, Jacko Chica, Withered Chica, the Rockstar Chica, Funtime Chica. We got most of them. But I wouldn't really say there's much interesting to talk about outside of the voices, so yeah, let's get into that. So Toy Chica's voice is just seductive, I guess. I'm not like the biggest fan of it, but it fits, so it's not that bad.
Let's go somewhere more private, so I can eat you.
Withered Chica gets a very, very good voice in this game, but it even gives Chica some new lore with this line.
I have seen everything.
That just confirmed that Susie, the spirit-possessing Chica, was the first victim, so, neat. And also, the voice is just, like, really generally creepy, and I really like it, because that fits the character design really well. Jacko Chica received one of the coolest voices in the series for no reason at all.
Greetings from the fire, and from the one you should not have killed.
They gave Rockstar Chica kind of just a generic countrywoman voice, but it's fine.
That'll teach you for trying to trick this old bird.
Ultimate Custom Night was great for the Chica Nation, because it finally gave us good Chica content. Because we didn't have any for like a few years, and it sucked. It was pure blasphemy. And Ultimate Custom Night was the end of the Scott Coffin era of FNAF games, and now we are entering the Steel Wool era of FNAF games, so let's see what they did with Chica and Help Wanted. So basically the only Chica and Help Wanted to actually get any spotlight is Classic Chica, which is perfectly fine because you got the least in Ultimate Custom Night, so it makes sense. This game focuses heavily on Chica's tendency to eat pizza, which wasn't really, it was implied in FNAF 1, kind of, not really. I mean, her bib says let's eat, she goes to the kitchen, it's a pizza restaurant, you can kind of connect the dots, but Help Wanted basically confirms, yes, this robot does eat pizza. And because she's a robot and she can't digest the food, so it just goes in there and rots, she gets a cockroach infestation in this game. Woohoo! Honestly though, that's really creative on Steel Will's end. It's probably my favorite of the repair minigames. Then it also gives her a goofy walk cycle when she walks by their office, and also just kind of the goofy turn to you. I love it. Help Wanted did a lot expanding Chica and evolving her character, but in the game files there was an unused song for a Showtime feature where you get to watch the animatronics perform, and in this performance you can actually hear Chica's official voice. This is the only time we've officially heard her voice. Well, I guess we kind of hear it a little bit later, but this is the first time she speaks.
Hey, I'm Chica, the lady of the group. My singing is a treat.
So sweet,
But keep an eye on your pizza.
'cause I'm a bird who likes to eat. Nom nom nom.
And I honestly think this voice is perfect. I'm glad she doesn't talk all the time though, because I feel like a big part that makes classic Chica appealing is just the fact that the way she shows her personality very silently and non-verbal. Ooh, what else for Help Wanted? I could talk about Neon Chica. But why would I talk about Neon Chica? But yeah, not really too much else for Chica and Help Wanted. But now we're going to move on to FNAF Security Breach. This is when things get interesting. This is when the main point of the video, you know what the thumbnail said? That's what this section's mainly about. So it goes without saying that the Glamrock animatronics are the most personality-oriented animatronics in the entire series. Or honestly, I'd say they're on par with Funtime Freddy and Baby in terms of that aspect. But the Glamrock animatronics are basically advanced enough to be considered their own people and not even animatronics. They have their own thoughts, they have their own feelings, they have their own ideas, they have their own interests. They're very distinct with their personalities. But of course, the story of Security Breach involves them being infected by the Glitch Trap virus. And what the virus does to them is basically exaggerates their personalities a lot. Mostly the negative aspects of their personalities. So Roxy becomes very over-competitive and has confidence issues. Monty becomes a dick. But those are both new characters. And since Bonnie and Foxy are absent and Freddy is your friend in this game, Chica's the only one left. I found it very interesting that the two animatronics that they decided to keep from the original cast is Freddy and Chica. And how the Glitch Trap virus affects Chica is that it brings her back to her origins. She picks up the mannerisms the original Chica had. The weird neck tilts, the crazy look, the jump scare is very similar. And it exemplifies Chica's love for pizza even more, and even adds on to that with making her dig through the trash for it even. Her voice lines are all very automated and robotic, along with her just making chicken noises and weird grunts and growls.
Who wants candy? I am just trying to help. Staff only. Employees only. This area is off limits.
I think one of the most underappreciated aspects of this whole game is Glamrock Chica. Because in a cast of all these colorful personalities, having this feral trash eater among them is pretty perfect. And I think she's easily the scariest Glamrock in the game when you take it from a horror perspective. Glamrock Chica's character in this game under the influence of the Glitch Trap virus is basically just an expanded version of classic Chica. Because really, when you think about it, all Glamrock Chica is just classic Chica with a voice and a makeover. She feels like a love letter to Chica's character in the early stages of the series. The scariest segment in Security Breach for me was Shattered Chica in the sewers. I don't know why, but this segment of the game always gets me. It's super tense, it's super scary. For a game that's mostly just about goofing around, it's really nice to have something that's genuinely this tense. And of course, the reference to Toy Chica taking her beak off with Shattered Chica's design, very nice. I think what Glamrock Chica shows is that there's a lot more you can do with a new Chica than you can do with a new Bonnie or a new Foxy, which is probably why Steel Will picked her. Steel Will puts Chica there out of reason and not out of necessity. She wasn't put in this game to fill a roster. She was put here because she genuinely had the potential to stand out. and I think they utilized that potential. And going off of the few bits we have about Ruin, it seems like they're going to be exploring it even more going forward. For a character who's been majorly neglected throughout the majority of the series' lifespan, seeing it all come full circle with Steelwool Studios clearly liking Chica a lot, it's very nice to see. And I look forward to seeing what the future holds. So yeah, that was the rise, the fall, and the rise again of Chica the Chicken, who is peak FNAF. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sorry I was gone for like 2 weeks. Over 2 weeks. Sorry about that.